On trends today, former Nigerian Minister emerges new PDP National Chairman. Osun State appoints Davido as Chairman of Sports Trust Fund. Nnamdi Kanu released Malami, Wike, Umahi, Sanwo-Olu, Burutai, others as defense witnesses. Tragedy in Ondo as Dangote truck allegedly crashes 20 people to death. And mosquitoes detected in Iceland for the first time. Hello and welcome to another episode of Trends with LJ, where we analyze major stories shaping leadership, justice and economic growth across Nigeria and Africa. My name is Omoyeni Ojeifu. Now don't forget you can also be a part of the conversation by following us across all platforms on @LJ Nigeria. Joining me to discuss today's topics is a guest whom I shall be introducing after the break. Stay tuned.
Camera rolling. Light set. Sound check. And action.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's program.
A program where we get to talk about the daily
lawyers
affairs
dissect legal issues with intent to educate.
This is the perfect space to create professional quality videos, recording news, podcasts, and all media content. With top-of-the-line cameras, studio lighting, soundproof spaces, we provide everything you need for a seamless shoot. Our fully equipped studio ensures high-quality production every time. Enjoy a comfortable, air-conditioned environment with professional-grade gear and expert support. Contact us now or visit our Abuja location to reserve your spot.
Welcome back from the break. This is still Trends with LG, and I have in the studio with me Dr. John Kamyang, a communications expert. You're welcome to the studio.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for always doing this with me. And now to our first story. Former Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Kabiru Tanimu Turaki, has been appointed as the new national chairman of the PDP. His selection was reached through a consensus arrangement during a late-night meeting of party leaders and stakeholders in Abuja on Wednesday. Turaki, who served under former President Goodluck Jonathan, is expected to lead the party's next phase of reorganization and political strategy as the PDP gears up for the 2027 general elections. Dr. John, do you think Turaki can restore unity and direction within the PDP?
First things first, I want to congratulate the former Minister of Special Duties. Okay. This move basically shows what I have always said, that the PDP over the years has proven that it has some internal mechanism in terms of being able to resolve internal issues and be able to come to some consensus. This we haven't seen in most political parties, because as it has been established on a number of platforms by political experts and politicians themselves, the game of politics is about interest. And when interests clash, there will always be issues of contention. And we have seen that happen consistently in the PDP. Now, most political watchers are quick to come to the conclusion that these internal squabbles, internal wranglings tend to divide the party and possibly suggest a demise to a party that was once known as the biggest and strongest political party across, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. But the PDP continues to, in a way, change the narrative by showing that it has the ability to restructure itself, reinvent itself, because with the recent defection of Governor Peter Mbah, Umoino of Akwa Ibom State, Doyediri, and now we hear that the governor of Taraba too has joined. It continues to suggest that the PDP is losing ground. But fortunately, we had the opportunity of interacting with a PDP stalwart in the person of Diakebo Walmate, who said, look, it is the governors, the elites that have left, but the people who make up the backbone of the party remain.
But do you think the party will be able to bounce back?
there are anything is possible.
Okay.
Anything is possible with this somewhat consensus, bringing Turaki to the fore as the new national. It changes the political dynamics in the party, beginning to see some alignment. Especially, don't forget, the party has already zoned the presidential ticket to the south. So now they are trying to create enough windows and to throw up the best options possible, considering the fact that they are going against the APC, who are the ruling party, the incumbent in office. And so they must be seen to put their best foot forward. One, to build confidence first within the party, and then secondly, build confidence outside the party to show the people that the PDP can be a credible opposition party, to give the APC a run for their money. So these are all the dynamics that are at play on the political chessboard as far as the PDP is concerned. But these are early days. Not until after they hold their convention, then it becomes clear. Whatever happens in Ibadan 2025 will truly give a clearer pathway as to what where the PDP stands and what Nigerians should expect from the PDP in the runoff to 2027.
Okay. And to our next story, Osun State government has appointed Afrobeat icon Davido as the chairman of the newly established Osun Sports Trust Fund. The initiative seeks to attract private investment and philanthropy to boost sport infrastructure and development in the state. Confirming the appointment on his official X page, Davido wrote, "Let's get to work, Your Excellency." Dr. John, do you think this can actually influence and transform Osun State's sports body?
It depends on what side of the divide you're looking at it from. Being a sports business professional, I understand that this is a good move. Let's not forget that David Adeleke, aka Davido, has massive followership as a result of his artistry as an Afrobeat coroner, and the one who has done that pretty well. And so the idea, if I can read the mind of Governor Adeleke, is to be able to bridge Davido's followership, bring that interest. Don't forget, sports is also part of entertainment. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Davido has proven to be a very successful artist, not just in terms of the songs he has produced, but being able to run the business. So I believe that Governor Adeleke is looking at Davido's ability to be able to allow his business increment in the entertainment industry to rub off on sports business in Ogun State.
Okay, so you think Davido is a good fit, not saying, as some people are saying, this is nepotism?
As I said, it depends on what side of the divide you're on. A lot of people are quick to react, and I must put this out there. Nigerians are hard of hearing, or they lack the ability to listen. They just hear. And once they hear, and because we thrive on rumors and speculations, we are quick to jump to all kinds of conclusions. I mean, give it to Governor Adeleke. He's using what he has to be able to deliver value to the people of Osun State. And I mean, he has a nephew who is globally acclaimed, highly celebrated, and then he sees a link, he sees a connection. Let Davido hit the ground running, and if he doesn't deliver, then we can begin to criticize him and say, oh, it was a wrong move on the part of Governor Adeleke. But when we see success, we should align with it. We should give it time to breathe and see. The London Olympics was hinged on entertainment. Taking London to the world. As of the time the UK hosted the Olympics, they were in economic recession. And shortly after hosting the Olympics, they announced to the world that they had come out of recession. So people should learn to look at things from a more objective, more result-oriented standpoint, and not be quick to criticize.
Okay, so from this angle, do you think more celebrities should be given the opportunity to hold
Yes.
public positions?
Oh, yes. More in Abia State, Jay Martins is in the cabinet of Dr. Alex Oti. I think in Anambra, Tony 1 week was a commissioner. I think at a point in time in Imo.
A couple of others.
Yeah, exactly. So
you think
the issue here is that we are quick to politicize issues. We should learn to look at issues more holistically and more objectively. Davido, who else should be given the opportunity to share his success story and possibly add his own quota to the success of his home state? If not a Davido, Yemi Shodimu, who was a one-time entertainment impresario, has been commissioned, I think, twice in Osun State. So states are using what they have to put themselves on the global map. So people should take 1 or 2 steps back and look at the big picture. I know even despite what I've said, they won't listen to what I've said. They will only hear me. I've already been said to be a Yoruba man, which I am not. But yes, I grew up in Southwest Nigeria. So many people who are quick to jump on social media and begin to, make unclouded statements, they probably never stepped out of where they were born. They don't even know what the next state looks like. So until you have a global view, a world view, these things reflect in the kind of statements and responses you make. And I think it's high time Nigerians learn that it's not just about Nigeria. And that's why we seem to have a bad image, because we think it's only Nigerians that read these comments. But once you put it on the digital highway, it becomes global.
Yes.
Nigerians outside Nigeria see it. People in other countries. And that's why a lot of people, if not because over the years, Nigeria has managed to carve an image for itself. Before now, a lot of people think Nigeria is Africa. When you say Nigeria, they say, Nigeria, Africa. But now, and that's why we celebrate the JJ Okochas, the Kanu Wankwas, who put Nigeria on the limelight. Because at a point in time, you step out of the shores of this country and immediately you say you're in Nigeria, say, JJ Okocha, and all of that. So why don't we take advantage? And I think that is what Governor Adeleke of Osun State is trying to do. Keep that tradition. Let Nigeria continue to be celebrated because of the great things and great people that have emanated from this great nation.
Okay, moving on. According to reports, IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu has submitted a list of 23 witnesses he plans to call in his defense before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Among the names are some high-profile figures, including former Attorney General Abubakar Malami, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, Minister of Works Dave Umahi, Lagos Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and former Chief of Army Staff Tukur Buratai. The witnesses are reportedly divided into 2 categories and are expected to be subpoenaed as Kanu prepares to open his defense in his ongoing terrorism trial. Dr. John, how do you react to this?
Well, first of all, Kanu has appeared in court this morning. His legal counsel have withdrawn from the case, so he will be defending himself.
Yes.
I'm currently trying to follow developments as they evolve from the courtroom.
Okay.
What is at play? I am not sure. I wish we could have a legal luminary to look at the technical side and possibly give an insight as to what the possible turn of events will be.
Okay.
Especially after today's appearance with his legal counsel. Let's not forget, Ejimoko is still in prison.
Yes, his brother.
Yes, with his brother. So if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, or let me come from the standpoint of a conspiracy theorist, seeing that Kanu has somehow survived to this point, been able to hold his ground to this point, it's looking as if there is a deliberate attempt to really back Kanu into the corner and with the hope that he will break at some point, and then the prosecution can take advantage. I maintain my position that in terms of what the prosecution has done so far, yes, Kanu has questions to answer. And this changes the dynamics. Before now, the dynamics tend to have put the trial judges at the different stages of this trial in the corner. And that's why we saw a Justice Binta Yaku pull out. We saw the last judge also do a 360 reverse until the current judge who is handling the case came on board. So it's for legal students, the Kanu's case becomes a major case study and a historic one. But we cannot run away from the fact that a charge of terrorism anywhere in the world is a major charge, and it is not one that can be easily swept under the carpet. The recent protests have also, in a way, influenced the dynamics. So that, looking at the bigger picture, I think what the government has done said, okay, let us try to ruffle the feathers a little bit with the arrest of his lawyer and his brother, but we cannot also not emphasize the fact that they contravened a court order. You understand? But the argument is that, one, taking them all the way to Kuje, passing several courts that would have, allowed them, and then denying them access to their legal counsel is also questionable. So suggesting that a lot of under-table and back-table antics, backdoor antics have been deployed to probably back Kanu into the corner and hope that he breaks at some point.
But do you think all these names he mentioned, do you think they would really appear in court?
That's why I said, if we had a legal luminary, it will be able to give us a legal tactical perspective. Well, I think Kanu has something off his sleeves by bringing all these high-profile individuals to be witnesses in his own defense.
Okay, we'll be watching us
in his own defense. It's a tactical move of sorts on the part of Kanu, but I am not a legal expert. I have some idea of how the law works, but I don't have the complete view. And that's why I said, if we had a legal luminary, he or she may have been able to give us technical insight, possible lacunas that Kanu is trying to take advantage of, because I must celebrate the Nigeria's legal system. In recent times, we have seen judgment taken based on technicalities. You see that more in foreign courts and international law, but in recent times, we've seen that our legal luminaries have shown a lot of expertise to be able to highlight technical lacunas in certain laws and being able to use that to overturn judgment. So Kanu has proven that he has a firm understanding of the workings of the law, and I am a student of the law myself, and I always suggest that you must test the law, the potency of the law, with a view to, being able to bring superior argument to the table.
Okay, so our next story, a tragic accident occurred yesterday in Akungba, Ondo State, where an alleged Dangote truck reportedly crushed about 20 people to death. The heartbreaking incident was shared by an ex-user at Uncle Ayo, who revealed that his inbox was flooded with distress messages from witnesses. He said the crash happened in the same area that has seen several similar accidents over the years, many of which have claimed the lives of students and residents. Let's take a look at the video.
ṣé kò lè gbaná báyìí? Ṣé kò lè gbaná? Ṣé ó pààyàn ní?
Ó pààyàn.
Kí ni? Ó ti pààyàn. Jesus.
Máa rọra, iná wà o.
Ó lọ gbiná o.
Okay, Dr. John, from the video we've seen, what measures do you think we can take to regulate drivers of heavy-duty vehicles to avoid recurring incidences?
First of all, I want to start by saying my condolences goes to the families of those whose lives were taken as a result of this accident. And a a lot of things are going through my mind. We have serious issues in our safety systems. One will be quick to want to point fingers at the Federal Road Safety Corps, Dangote Industries, and in the area of safety, in the area of prevention. But I begin to wonder. I know that recently, when the subject of the over 20-something trucks that Dangote was importing, he talked about the fact that his drivers were undergoing training. And let's not forget, even before the subject of the importation of the trucks, a similar incident, Fina's sister, who recently passed away as a result of having lost one limb, and then in the process of having the second leg being amputated, now passed on. A lot of questions have come up, and the Dangote Industries, or Dangote himself, has said, look, we are taking the training and continuous training of our drivers more seriously. And I wonder what role the Federal Road Safety is playing in that process to be able to, I know that in the civilized climb, it is not just enough to have a driver's license. It's not just enough to have gone through tests to prove that you can drive a 18-wheeler, 16-wheeler, or 12-wheeler truck, as the case may be. There are psychological evaluations. I remember, even as a child growing up, you always hear stories of drivers who drive 911 back in the day. Molwares, I don't know if young people today know what a Molware looks like. You know, Molwares, 911, Bolekaja, back in the day. That most of these drivers were always under the influence of drugs. I remember as a young man growing up, there was the talk of red and yellow capsules that they take. And then over the years, what we saw them move to was taking all kinds of alcohol, mixed herbs and bitters. And naturally, anywhere in the world, you don't drink and drive. If you must drink, you don't drive.
Yes.
And if you must drive, you don't drink. But these things still persist. And I have noticed that most of the drivers, unlike what I used to witness growing up, it was elderly men who drove these 18-wheelers, 16-wheelers, 12-wheelers. Now they are young boys and girls. There was a video of a young lady who drove an 18-wheeler in Aba. People couldn't believe. Very, pinchomic young lady driving an 18-wheeler. So I have also seen women who drive these 18-wheelers. In fact, I have watched interviews conducted of one lady who drives a Dangote truck and with her children in that truck because she can't afford to leave them. So she carries them with her. So I'm wondering, what role is the road safety playing with companies like Dangote Cement, Dangote, now also you have Dangote Petrochemical, who also will be transporting inflammable fluids.
Now, quickly, what do you think the road safety can do to curb
They
this?
need to be part of the training process. They need to be also part of the evaluation process. And I recommend, I strongly suggest the need for periodic psychological evaluation. Look at the UK, for instance. You drive above the speed limit. Once you are stopped by a traffic trooper, a copper or trooper, the first thing they ask you, did you drink? Did you take any drugs? And then they put you through certain tests, like walking the line, walking in a straight line. You understand? They tell you they'll put a finger in front of you and watch the dilation of your eyes. These are simple tests that our road safety officers need to be. I think the commander of the road safety needs to shift his focus a bit, because these accidents are reoccurring. Just about a few days ago, a tanker fell, inflammable fluids, lives were lost. Nigerians continue to go to scoop either petrol or diesel, and these things are highly inflammable. So we need there has to be a deliberate or intentional approach by the FIRS in conjunction with NOA to continue to sound the alarm that when a tanker falls, don't go scooping any petroleum product because it is inflammable and the tendency is that it could ignite, lives will be lost.
I think it's something we've been saying for a long time. And
Two, the road safety has to now shift its procedural safety agenda to trailers, lorries, heavy vehicles. Now, physics tells us that once a trailer is heavily loaded, it's a projectile, it's a rocket. So imagine that driver, first of all, brake failure.
Yes.
And in a bid to probably not cause havoc, which he still did because several lives were lost. And from reports, there used to be barricades on that road. For some reason, those barricades were removed. Some of the reactions were that if those barricades were there, that would have in a way stopped the vehicle and reduced the casualty figure because it ran into a market.
Thank you very much, Dr. John. And finally, mosquitoes have been detected in Iceland for the first time following unprecedented heat wave. Mosquitoes have been discovered after the island recorded unusual high spring temperature. I'll take that again. Mosquitoes have been detected in Iceland for the first time. Dr. John, quickly, I think we have a mix-up with that story. Can you react as a Nigerian?
Well, it's as a result of global warming. Iceland is one of the coldest parts of the world. So for mosquitoes to migrate to Iceland, it suggests that the theory behind global warming is becoming a reality. And that automatically means that the Iceland government will now have to invest in disinfectants, trying to ensure they reduce the mosquito population as quickly as possible. Because for a country that has never experienced mosquitoes, now experience, we are used to it.
We're used to it.
Yeah. So it's going to affect their healthcare system. They have to review healthcare measures, the environmental sanitation, because we know how mosquitoes breed. But most importantly, even recently, we were made to understand that there are new strands of mosquito. The mosquitoes are what do they call them now? They are metamorphosing. So that's why even in Nigeria and in most parts of Africa, you take a particular brand of malaria drug today, by tomorrow you take another one because they will tell you the malaria strand has mutated. So imagine in a country like Iceland, I can imagine that right now it's on high alert. Health officials in that country are already having conversations as to find what to do to possibly bring the mosquito population to Iceland, if possible, to zero.
And that's where we wrap up this episode of Trends with LJ. Thank you, Dr. John, for being a part of the program.
It's always a pleasure.
And thank you to our viewers. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms on @LJ Nigeria. My name is Omayeni Ojefo.